So the puzzle rooms in Jedi Survivor are definitely not easy to do. I did have the luxury of having the game before it actually came out and I had the time to actually get through all of these. So what we're going to be doing today is going over all 7 of the Jedi chamber puzzles and exactly how to do them. I'm obviously going to be showing all of them, but if you guys are just looking for a specific one, there is timestamps in the description so you can skip ahead to the specific one you're looking for. And obviously feel free to come back if you are stuck on another one at a later point. Now, on top of these ones, I am also going to be going over the main path puzzles in the coming days as well. So if you're stuck on something that isn't part of the Jedi chambers, it's a main path puzzle, then there will be a video on that in a few days as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that, but without wasting any more time, let's get stuck right into it. Now, like I said, there are 7 of these Jedi chambers. All of them are located on Kobo, and they are all pretty easy to find except for the final one, and really finding that last one is actually the puzzle itself. Now, the first one we're going to go through is the Chamber of Duality. This one is actually found in the main storyline, and it is part of the main path. You have to get past this one in order to progress the story. Now, this is also the most simple one, and I'm sure most of you probably got past this on your own. Now, in order to get through the cutscene where you do meet Z, you firstly just want to pick up the ball from the wall on the left there and place it into this holder, at which point you can walk across the bridge there. You'll enter the cutscene, and then after the cutscene, take that ball that you just used, put it on the bridge near Z, just to the left of where you placed the other one. Walk across that bridge and then pull the cord and essentially place it into that lock. That will open up the wall there, and you can actually get a second ball. Use the force to grab that and carry it across the bridge that you just created. Put that new ball into that holder on the left there, at which point you want to turn around, take the one that you just used to create that initial bridge, and take that one and put it on the holder on the right. This will create that second bridge. Simply walk across that bridge, follow the path that you can see on screen here. Be sure to not miss that chest on the way. Once you've climbed up onto this top section, all you need to do now is pull the final cord and lock it into place, and there you have your very first Jedi chamber. Now, the next one is definitely a little bit tougher. This one is the Chamber of Reason. It is over in the Basalt Rift, and it is, like I said, definitely a little bit more difficult. Now, what you want to do is you want to force push the lever here to actually push the holder across to the right. You want to grab that ball and put it into that holder and then run across the bridge, get to the very end and collect that second ball and bring it back to the original holder. Keep in mind, all of these balls, if you just drop them, they will eventually pretty much just disappear. So if you need any of them to be held for a certain period of time, you have to put them back into the holders. Now, once you've done that, push the holder back to create the left bridge, and then pick up the ball you just got, carry it over the bridge, quickly drop it and use the elevator to bring it back down to the bottom, and obviously quickly pick the ball up again before it disappears. Go up that elevator and then place it into that new holder. Now, once this new bridge is created, you want to grab the original ball that you used to create that previous bridge, take it all the way across the most recent bridge that you've made and put it onto this holder here. You can quickly get this force echo and then use the lever to actually bring the elevator to the top level. From here, technically all you need to do is take the ball and throw it across this gap to bridge it, and then you can find the perk there on the left. That is technically finishing this chamber. As soon as you get the perk, that is complete, and the way out is on the right there. So all you need to do is use this lever here, and that will take you on a path back to the entrance. Now, if you want a cool lightsaber piece first though, what you want to do is put the ball in that like elevator holder. You want to head across that gap and then around the corner to the left. Take the ball from down below that you used to make that original bridge, and then you want to throw it into this like glowing yellow hole. This will open the second part of the chamber, and like I said, there is a chest in there with a really cool lightsaber piece. So definitely don't miss out on that either. The next chamber is the Chamber of Connection. This is found on your way to the Lucrehulk in the sort of bog area of Kobo. What you need to do is you need to head to this block at the end of the room, step on that and it will open the wall, at which point you can take the ball out of there and place it into this holder. Now, using BD1's Kobo Dust, which is a skill you will learn throughout the main story, use down on the D-pad and then the right trigger to actually shoot the Kobo Dust, and from there you want to draw a line from that purple beam to this door covered in vines. Go through that door and climb the wall on the right there. I believe you will need the mid-air dash to actually cross this gap here, so if you aren't progressed far enough through the story, then you will need to progress the main story. Cross this gap and stand on the block to bridge the gap in the wall there, because any water will disrupt the Kobo Dust. You then want to draw a line from that original beam running across the newly covered area. Once it is actually past that waterfall, you then want to quickly run across to the second block at the end of this ledge here and continue the line across these vines before it goes away, and that will take it all the way across to these vines and open this new door. From here, go to the top section here and jump down onto this side platform and open the shortcut there, as there is still one final step. Now, you then need to jump back down to where you pretty much started, draw another line with the Kobo Dust from the initial spot through that first door that you got through. Just be sure to fill it all in. You can see here it kind of like struggles to continue the path, so just make sure you're filling it all in. This will not last forever, so if you take too long to do this, you'll have to pretty much start from the beam again. Now take that line to the top of the stairs, and when you get to this point, you want to quickly go and grab the ball that created that initial beam, place it in this new holder, and then cross the bridge by continuing the path with the Cobra dust all the way until you can take down these vines, at which point you'll open the final door and you can collect your perk. Now the next chamber is the Chamber of Fortitude. You want to head to the Southern Reach meditation point. From this top ridge here, you want to fly down to the silo on the right, and you will need the force lift skill that you unlock throughout the story. So again, if you haven't got this skill, you will need to play the main storyline and come back to this later. Now, funnily enough, this one is actually just a boss fight. There's actually technically no puzzle here, but there is a bit of a path to actually get to the puzzle room. So I'm going to show you guys where that boss fight takes place. What you need to do is enter that hole from the top and follow the path that I'm showing here. There are multiple enemies along the way. You can obviously take them out, or you can just try and run past them. There are a few at the end that are definitely a little bit tougher. There are 2 BX Commandos and a Bedlam Raider that you pretty much have to kill. You don't really have to, but they're going to really annoy you if you don't take them out before you get across. Now once you're at the bottom of this section, zip line across and climb onto the wall here, climb up and to the left, and then get to the elevator that you'll then use to go down to the enemies that I just mentioned. You just want to take those enemies out, at which point you can force lift this wall, jump across the gap, and you will enter the chamber. Like I said, all you need to do for this one is beat the boss Anoth Estra. It's actually a really simple boss fight. He doesn't really deal that much damage, so if he did deal damage, it'd be pretty tough, to be honest. He does have a lot of aggro, but this one is definitely very simple. And once you've taken him out, there is a door here where you'll get your perk, at which point you have completed the chamber. Now, instead of having to go all the way back where you came from, you can just go to the end here and open the door at the bottom of the silo, and that will take you back outside. Now, the next chamber is the Chamber of Clarity. This one is located up near Fort Carlin, so travel to that meditation point if you have unlocked it already. What you want to do is you want to use a Neko to jump onto these vines and climb up to the area where the door is. This one is pretty simple, but it did take me a while to actually figure it out. What you want to do is you want to force pull this block to jump across that gap there. There's then another block here that you want to pull towards you, but then quickly force push it and jump onto the vines, making sure to get to safety, because if you're on the side, you will die. Once you're across to the other side here, you want to force pull this second block. Once it is at the end, you want to push it back to where it came from, climb onto it from the vines, and use it to jump across to this force echo. Now from here, follow the path to the left. You then want to jump out of this hole and force push where it pretty much shows you there's a big indicator saying you can force push that. Once you've done that, you want to pull that second block back again. You want to climb onto it when you are close enough to where you just force pushed, and from there you can jump off into that new section. Now once you're in that hole, you want to force push this block to clear the way, but you want to then go back to the first block and pull it back down to the start. This will allow you to get up to where the perk is. So from here, you can either just use the force dash if you have unlocked that skill. If you haven't, you can just pull down a beam on the left there, and then once you do cross this gap, you'll have your perk at the end of the chamber. Now the second last chamber is the Chamber of Detachment. This is located close to the Mountain Ascent meditation point. It's easy to find, but this one is definitely a little bit difficult without a guide. You want to head from the meditation point to this section down behind the waterfall to get into the chamber. The first thing to remember is this plate here that moves the elevator. That is important for later on. Now you want to pull that block away from the wall. Behind the block is a ball that you can then throw into this hole here that has like the spinning part. It will block the beam every now and then, but when the beam is clear, you can draw a line with BD's Cobra dust, pull that block that you just used, and it will collect the beam on its way. If you've drawn that Cobra dust right, it will push that to these vines, unlocking the second block that you need. And keep in mind, there is also a chest behind that block as well, so be sure to get that on your way. Now with these both at the end, pretty much where the first block initially was, you want to pull both of them and essentially just make them hit each other on the plate that moves the elevator that I just mentioned. As you can see here, it kind of stops them in their tracks. Instead of constantly moving, you want to make sure that the second block is the one that is on the plate, not the first one. This will then make the elevator flat on the ground. You can then pull the first block back and actually put it on top of that elevator. You then want to climb onto it via the vines, at which point you can pull the second block towards you, which will remove it from that plate and allow you to get up to the top there, and that is where your perk is. Another little secret in this chamber is that you can also use that beam to draw this line and get to a priorite shard that is stuck in the wall. So if you've got the time, be sure to do that as well. Now the final chamber is the Chamber of Ambidexterity. This one honestly is actually the most simple of them all, but it's very hard to actually figure out how to do it, and that is exactly what this guide is for. So this one is located at the Grand Courtyard meditation point. Again, you will have to have have progressed the story enough to get through this section. From this meditation point, all you need to do is fly across to this area where there was actually a puzzle in the main story. And again, if you guys are looking for any of these main story puzzles, the video will be up within the next few days. Now from here, use this beam and point it down onto this little ridge that is below that like big cube on the cliff there, at which point you want to simply fly down to where you place that beam, because this is where the chamber is. There are a few enemies in there, so just quickly take them out. And from there, you want to draw a line from the beam to the vines, and there you have it. You have your final perk and your final completed Jedi chamber. So hopefully that helps you guys with all of the puzzle rooms. They are definitely a little bit difficult, and like I said, if you're looking for the main path puzzle walkthroughs, I will be putting that video out very soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that. On top of that, there is also a lot of content going out on the Clips channel, so be sure to head to the link in the description and subscribe to the Clips channel too. But with that being said, thank you all very much for watching. You guys have a great day, and may the Force be with you always.